It is Transformer Thursday today, one of many Thursdays we're going to be having in the month of March. Hasbro is going to be revealing a whole bunch of Transformer product all of March, every Thursday, through live streams, fan streams on the Hasbro Pulse YouTube channel, as well as we got some good news coming from the Walmart Collector Con this day today, because it is sneak peek day at Walmart Collector Con. So we're going to jump into it like we always do here on the Transformer Slag podcast. And the first thing we're going to be covering is those sneak peeks from Walmart Collector Con. They made the promise, and it is here today. We have our first look at some of, not all of, but some of the Transformers Walmart exclusive Star Raiders. This is what they're going to be calling it, not the Star Seekers as we assumed it was going to be called. This is the Walmart Star Raiders subline. And we got to look at some of them, not all of them, some packaging images, some robot mode and alt mode images. We're going to break it down, and the first one we're going to be covering is the Transformers Star Raiders Deluxe Class Lockdown. So, as we expected, it's a retool of the Legacy Evolution Deluxe Class axle grease, just a brand new head pretty much. Otherwise, it's just a redeco of the entire body. Not much really to talk about this one. This is probably the weakest of the bunch, and you know, we knew it was going to come. We saw that alt mode. We saw how it was going to turn out, and it's just a brand new head sculpt. It still has that engine gun that splits into two weapons. It still has the hook hand, all the stuff that were trademarks of the axle grease mold. It just now has the lockdown head sculpt on top of it with that trademark coloring all the way back to the animated version. And sad to say, probably of the lockdowns we've gotten up to this point based on that design, probably that Revenge of the Fallen Hunt for the Decepticon one is probably still the more better modern take all those years ago. I really feel that this is probably just a stopgap for Lockdown. And what I mean by that is I think it's just a way to keep that trademark going without having to do another Age of Extinction movie toy to use a trademark in another spot. It's just a way to put that character out there again for fans, and we'll probably get a better one down the line at some point. We'll get another big muscle car and they'll retool it into a proper Lockdown. But for the time being, here's your Lockdown, but maybe not really. So probably the weakest of the bunch of this. But the rest aren't, because then we got the Transformers Star Raider Deluxe Class Cannonball. Wow. This one is really good. They are like pulling that energy from the 2005 Transformers Cybertron toy line Origins, just pulling all that energy from it. And Cannonball was always one of those kind of cult classic characters within the hardcore fandom. For people that don't know, he was a repaint of the Cybertron Red Alert figure that we got in 2004. In late 2005, he was turned into a Decepticon character. That was kind of the way that they were thinking back then. How do we make, new characters out of these repaints without having to do any new tooling? Well, put them on another faction. We got, that extra space on the back of the packaging to tell a story, and thus Cannonball was born and became quite the fan favorite. And years later, in 2014, Bakon made a Cannonball figure also, because they loved him too. And now, all these years later, they're taking that Skids mold, taking it and doing quite the super extensive partial retool on it. And also a little bit of that crankcase design too from that Skids, and giving us quite an impressive Cannonball. I am quite shocked how much new tooling is on this thing. While the whole bones of it itself from the inside is really crankcase, there's a lot of new front end kind of stuff going on. There's a facelift on the front of the vehicle. There's a partial change to the framing and the bones of the figure itself. There's a brand new head sculpt. There's new weapons, even some new tooled light bar that's put on the top of it, which I absolutely love, because that new light bar that's put on top actually mimics the fake robot head that homages the original toy and how the head transformation works with it. So I love that they put the fake head up there. To top it all off, it even comes with a cyber planet key or chip square or force chip ignition, whatever you want to call it, which started becoming a thing now because of the Cybertron Starscream. So I guess we're going to be seeing more force chips and cyber planet keys in the future. So it's nice that even he's coming with one. That's amazing. I love how he looks. They got the deco. I mean, obviously they couldn't do that same skeleton deco again a third time. I guess they wanted to make something a little different. I have a feeling Mark had a lot to do with that deco on the side. Just looks great. The new weapon, that again, having the tool kind of idea that the original mold had. And that with all this tooling, it's just a matter of time now. They're probably going to take this and they're going to give us a Cybertron Red Alert at some point and just go backwards in a lot of ways. Hasbro is truly milking that Skids mold up, from above and beyond at this point on Seeker levels. And now that it has all this brand new tooling on it, I mean, it's going to get a second or dare I say third life now with a Red Alert repaint and beyond. Really good. Really like what I see here. Definitely a winner of this bunch. Next one we got here is the Star Raiders Deluxe Class Filch. We all figured it was going to be one of those Air Razor molds, just which one was it going to be. And they took that Kingdom one, and she looks wild. I love what they did here. I really do. Finally taking that character from Robots in Disguise 2015 and giving her a proper toy, that Corvicon Decepticon subfaction. And they took that Kingdom Air Razor toy. Again, an extensive retool, way more than I expected. They could have just done a straight up repaint with a new head, but no, they went above and beyond yet again. New wings, brand new sculpted wings, new bird head, new robot mode head, new shoulders for the robot mode itself. All these little extra efforts to make it more animation accurate. And then by having the new sculpted bird wings be detachable and put onto 5mm pegs, that then these 5mm pegs could be pegged in the 5mm holes that were normally on Air Razor's forearms for her wrist blasters, and now could be attached to add some extra dynamic look to the robot mode's wings and everything and make it look more screen accurate. This looks stunning. I love it. I love what they did. The purple looks amazing. I love how this turned out. And it's way better than even how I imagined they were going to do it. They didn't get lazy. They actually did something new. And it makes me wonder now, looking at what they did here, maybe they could do what they've done here and tackle the rest of her team of Jackknab, Boostwing, and Pilfer. You could take that Skywarp tooling that they did with the Air Razor, which had that new head sculpt on it, and they can maybe make the other characters with that using that same kind of wing technology that they just tooled with this one. You can mix and match the molds and something could come of it and it'll be pretty awesome. So very excited about her too. The Cannonball and the Filch are fantastic. The Lockdown I could probably pass on. I feel something better will come later along. And these deluxes, they're going to be $24.97 each from Walmart. The pre-orders will be dropping next week, next Thursday, March 14th, on the actual Walmart Collector Con at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. The listings are up right now on Walmart, but they're listed as out of stock because this is just the previews right now, the sneak peeks, and these will be active listings next week, March 14th at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stay tuned for that. And we still got one more, though, of the Star Raiders, because we got the Voyager class here. And we got a Star Raiders Voyager class Ferak. And again, I was like, hey, I thought they were just going to do a straight up Kingdom Cyclonus redeco. Historically, that's what it's been. Just take Cyclonus, redeco it into Ferak, and you're good to go. But they didn't do that. They could have done that, and we would have probably all accepted it and would have been fine with it because that's what we would have expected, but they went above and beyond, and I was quite surprised. Man, when I first looked at it, I was like, what is going on here? They made a completely different animal here. It's, new ship front end, new wings, new back end, new chest sculpt, new ab chest sculpt. 2 new weapons that clip onto the wings, brand new head sculpt that I swear is trying to emulate the Cyclonus G1 1986 toy, which I'm sure there's something loaded in there with that. I mean, it takes that Kingdom Cyclonus toy and just changes every small little aspect of it while still being a Cyclonus figure in a lot of ways. Still has the Cyclonus gun that came with the original Kingdom one. It's one of these things where, we got that Target Master Cyclonus, aka and his Armada from Hasbro Pulse, and that was done in toy colors. But I'm looking at the head sculpt on this one here, this brand new head sculpt, and this thing is going straight up for that, toy accurate Cyclonus in a lot of ways. So are we going to see like another Cyclonus in the future that's toy accurate and it's going to have this head sculpt? It's definitely making me wonder. I mean, all this brand new tooling just for Walmart, really, really crazy. I think that maybe because of the weird sales that these Walmart exclusive lines have had, I think Hasbro is now going, you know what, we're going to really go all out with a lot of these and have them not just be straight up repaints or just brand new head sculpts. We're going to do something that's a brand new whole kind of tooling and stuff. So that's fantastic. I love what we see here. This is really good. Now I'm excited about the other two that we haven't seen yet. We haven't seen Road Pig yet. Now I'm curious how Road Pig is going to look. And we haven't seen the Thundertron. That's going to be our leader class. The Road Pig will be a deluxe. We'll see what happens with those ones. This Ferak here is going to be $34.97. And also, like the others, are going to be available for pre-order March 14th, 2024 on Walmart Collector Con at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. Looking amazing. I love these. They look really good. Except maybe that lockdown. Don't want to knock on the lockdown. Last thing we're going to cover, though, is so we also had the fan stream. We had a fan stream. It was Mark. It was BMAC. It was Evan. They were chilling. They were kind of going over mostly licensed Transformer stuff that we covered quite a few weeks ago. The Dynamite trading cards and, the T-shirts and all that kind of stuff. They went over, of course, also the Mayhem Attack Squad stuff that went on pre-order not too long ago and kind of gave their 2 cents on that stuff and all the cool things. But the big thing was the reveal and or pre-order drop and everything of the Target exclusive Studio Series 86 number 25 Voyager Class Blaster and Eject. Now I knew they were going to do something with this mold. I knew that, they were very proud of it. They got a lot of traction with that mold. You had the Kingdom Legacy release, you had the Shattered Glass one, you had the Twin Cast repaint. And I felt like, at some point they're going to take it, they're going to probably retool it a little bit, and then they'll probably just release it as the Studio Series straight up for the 86 Studio Series line. Make it look more like that animation model. And, make Eject a solid color. Because it was pretty clear that that's what was going to happen, because I don't think they were going to accept the fact that Eject was going to be this Energon clear figure. But that was not the case, unfortunately. We at least got one of those things that I mentioned. I mean, Eject did end up becoming solid. And while I'll give them credit, because the coloring on the blaster that they've done here, they really tried their best without doing any new tooling to make it look as close as they can to the Fluorodery animation model. Like with those little details and everything. I mean, I dig the details. They put the little 2 feet dots inside the recess of the feet holes for the transformation, which were from the original animation model in the toy. So that's pretty cool. And, in the attempt to wash out all that black paint that was on the front end of the boombox that really was distracting. So by not using that black paint, it kind of is closer to the animation model by it being washed out with all the red instead. But really, the final product at the end, while it looks really great in robot mode, the boombox mode still has like a lot that needs to be desired. And I feel that, unfortunately, this is a Studio Series thing that will probably get a better one later on. I really do. It's cool. I dig how cool that the solid colors on the Eject is. It looks really good now in those solid colors. But I think we'll get another blaster that's closer to the animation model in the future. And this is probably why this is a Target exclusive instead of a mass retail release. This is something that they're doing special for Target. But 2 years from now, 3 years from now, who knows? They'll do something that's a little more closer to what we want. Also, I don't want to nitpick, but it also kind of shows how they kind of didn't go all out. The background that's used for the blaster is the same background that's been used with some of the other past Studio Series 86 characters, when they could have included a background from his communication tower in the 86 movie that he's strongly associated with. So that tells me that I think they didn't go all out with this. They just kind of were like, we'll do a repaint. We'll give him the solid Eject, and the solid Eject alone will be what sells the product. And then we'll do something better later on and retool those legs and do a better boombox mode that's more accurate to Fluorodery's design from the 80s. So it is what it is. Voyager Class price point, $34.99 on Target and Hasbro Pulse. Pre-orders are available right now. As we speak, it's sold out on some areas, unfortunately. So you'll probably have to pick it up in stores, which I get a feeling probably won't be too much of an issue. Planned ship out is for March 31st, 2024. So very, very soon. So at least that's kind of impressive. You'll be able to get it in your hand not long after pre-ordering. And yeah, that's it more or less. I mean, it's kind of a shame. I love Blaster. I've always had a special place in my heart for this character because he was my first Transformer. But I really was kind of expecting them to do a little bit of a better tooling. You know, it is what it is. And that's it more or less for our Transformer Thursday. Quite a few things revealed, quite a few firsts for the very first time. Next week, of course, will be March 14th, 2024 for the next Transformer Thursday. It'll be the Walmart Collector Con, the full reveal, and another Hasbro Pulse fan stream that'll be with Mark, Evan, and BMAX. So stay tuned for that. We'll cover all of that like we always do, and anything that pops up before we'll cover here on the Transformer Slag podcast. Let me know what you think about all of this. Who's your favorite of everything you've seen thus far, and what do you think of it all? As always, thank you for listening to the Transformer Slag podcast, and I'll see you in the near future.
Transformers.